Hello, who are we tonight? Of course, let's get started. There's an orange glow on your ceiling right now. The kind of warm, quiet hue that tells you the world outside has finally taken a breath. Maybe it's 10:07 p.m., or maybe it's later. Doesn't matter. The dishes are done. Your phone is face down. And somewhere in the background, the final few notes of a Spotify playlist whisper you into silence. You're not really thinking of anything in particular. Just the soft hum of air moving through the vent. A few lazy thoughts bouncing around your mind like a slow game of catch. And then, a video autoplays. A slow-motion dunk. A swish from the corner. A highlight reel of Cameron Johnson, the 6 feet 8 inches NBA forward known for his quiet clutch, smooth shot, and that understated charisma that makes fans lean forward. You watch the ball rotate as it leaves his fingers. Perfect backspin. Effortless. You mumble, "Man, I wish I could shoot like that," not really meaning it. Not expecting the universe to answer. Share your thoughts in the comments below. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, and I wish you success, good luck, and continued success in your work and life. Now, turn off the lights, maybe turn on the fan to make some soft noise, and let's head into the night together. Your body sinks a little deeper into the mattress. The fabric welcomes you like an old friend. Muscles soften. Shoulders relax. Eyes flutter. Your phone buzzes once, but you ignore it. Your mind floats now, half tethered to the screen, half to your own dream logic. You're watching Cameron glide across the court. But you're also wondering what it might feel like to be him. Even just for a night. Your body begins to feel light. Like it's dissolving into the cotton sheets beneath you. You're not asleep. But you're also not here. Not really. The highlight reel continues, but it's no longer on your screen, it's playing behind your eyes. You see flashes of light, hear the crowd. Feel the squeak of sneakers and the cool breeze of arena air that somehow finds its way between roaring voices. Your hand twitches. Feels heavier than usual. You blink. Once. Twice. And then the world goes dark. But not the kind of dark that means something's wrong. No. This dark feels promising. Like a curtain falling right before the best show of your life begins. A humming noise starts. Low, almost like a refrigerator from far away. But it grows clearer. There's also silk. You feel something against your legs that definitely isn't your worn-out plaid pajama pants. Satin. Maybe even luxury hotel sheets. You open your eyes. White ceiling. Recessed lighting. A wide space above you, lofted. Quietly modern. You blink again. The bed is enormous. There's a huge window stretching across the room. You turn your head and, wait. That's not your nightstand. That's not your water bottle. That's not your room. You sit up a little too quickly. And suddenly, you're looking at your hands. But they're not your hands. They're larger. Smoother. The fingers are longer. The nails are clean and clipped. You flex them. They respond. You press a palm to your forehead. It feels real. Warm. Solid. But the texture of your skin is different. You're taller. Much taller. Your knees don't bend where you expect them to bend. Your neck cranes down to see your legs, and, whoa. You swing your legs over the edge of the bed. The carpet beneath your feet is soft, cloud-like. There's a huge TV on the wall across from you. Below it, a console table with several basketballs, a Beats speaker, and what looks like a small gold trophy. Your heart starts to beat faster. But somehow, you're not panicking. You're curious. There's a large mirror across the room. You walk toward it carefully, like you're wearing someone else's shoes. Actually, you are. You lean in. And there he is. Cameron Johnson. Staring back at you. But not like on TV. Not like in a game. This version is blinking in sync with you. Moving when you move. Frowning when you squint. And now you're really awake. But also not. Because nothing about this makes sense, and yet everything feels vivid. There's a soft ding, an alert from a phone on the table. You walk over. The lock screen lights up. Game 7 tonight, call time, 9:30 a.m. Wait. Wait. Game 7? Like, the NBA Finals? You stumble backward slightly and sit down on the edge of the bed again. Which sinks under your weight in a way that tells you, yep. This body is a lot heavier than the one you came in with. Your breathing quickens, but you press a palm against your chest to slow it. Inhale. Exhale. Your body listens. As if it's done this before. You suddenly remember the last thing you saw before falling asleep, Cameron's highlight reel. Is that what triggered this? A dream? A lucid dream? But if it's a dream, why does it feel like your heart is beating twice as hard? And why can you still feel the texture of the rug between your toes? Why does the air have that familiar hotel-like scent of eucalyptus and new upholstery? You stand again. One more glance at the mirror. Same face. Cameron's face. Same sleepy curls. Same strong jaw. Same quietly confident eyes. Yours, now. At least for tonight. You laugh. Just once. Quietly. It sounds deeper. A baritone you weren't expecting. You take another breath. Slower this time. Whatever this is, a dream, a glitch, a parallel reality, you're not scared. You're intrigued. You walk toward the bathroom, your footsteps louder than you're used to. This body moves differently. Fluid, trained, strong. You glance again at the phone. 8:12 a.m. You've got time. And apparently, a championship to win. But first, maybe a shower. After all, can't show up to Game 7 without brushing your teeth, right? The bathroom lights hum as they flicker on. A soft, automatic glow. You step inside, and again, the mirror greets you. Still him. Still you. There's something surreal about watching this version of yourself reach for a toothbrush. The motion is yours, but the hands, Cameron's, glide with muscle memory. No hesitation. You feel taller even in front of the sink. You bend slightly, trying to match the angle of the mirror, and your reflection plays along. A small chuckle escapes you again. It's strange. And kind of exhilarating. You squint at the reflection. Not just because of disbelief, but because of the sheer realness of this moment. The crisp edge of a towel. The way the toothpaste cap rolls off the counter and hits the floor with an oddly satisfying clink. Your brain's trying to rationalize this. Dream? Simulation? Quantum something? But your heart? It just beats, steady and low, like a drum warming up before a parade. You glance at your reflection again, brush still in hand. "Okay, Cameron," you whisper. "Guess it's your lucky day." You finish the bathroom routine with awkward grace. His body responds, "Sure," but your mind still plays catch-up. You accidentally squirt too much moisturizer into your hand and now it's sliding down your wrist. You don't even use moisturizer in real life. You just kinda dry off and go. But here, there's structure. You towel your face gently. The mirror fogs slightly from the warm water. It makes the reflection blur at the edges, reminds you for a second that none of this is yours. Or maybe all of it is. For now. You step out into the living space. Light floods the room. It's not a dreamlike glow anymore. It's morning. Real, punch-you-in-the-face Brooklyn sunlight. Streaming in from wall-to-wall windows. The skyline looms outside, sturdy and indifferent. Somewhere far below, a car honks. You walk barefoot across the apartment. Wood floors. Expensive. Cold. A notification buzzes on the phone. Team shuttle, 9:15 sharp. No stragglers today, CJ. Basketball. CJ. That's you. Apparently. You glance at the time. 8:27 a.m. Still time for coffee. You step into the kitchen, half expecting it to be futuristic or overly fancy, but it's surprisingly normal. Neat. Protein powders. Avocados. A glass jar labeled CHI, don't forget. You open the fridge and laugh. There are about 7 identical green smoothies lined up, stacked like soldiers. You take one out. Twist the cap. Sniff. Grass. Or maybe celery's angry cousin. You wince, but take a sip anyway. Yep. Regret in a bottle. You scan the cabinets for something familiar, maybe a Pop-Tart? An old granola bar? A hidden drawer of forbidden snacks? Nothing. Just clean-eating ambition. And almonds. You grab a handful of those. As you're crunching, the phone rings. A contact flashes. MOM red heart. You freeze. Do you pick it up? You stare at it for 1 ring, 2. You swipe. Hello? A warm, familiar voice crackles through the speaker. Morning, baby. You nervous? You blink. Her voice is soft. Confident. Like she's done this 100 times. Nervous, you repeat, trying to mimic Cameron's tone, calm and cool. For tonight, she says. Game 7. I had a dream last night. You hit the winning shot. Woke up crying. Something about her voice swells in your chest. Like she's talking to you, not just to Cameron. Her love is real. It doesn't care who you are, only that you are. You smile. Guess that means I'd better live up to the prophecy. She laughs. It's a good sound. Just remember who you are. No matter how loud the crowd gets. I'll try, you say, softer now. I love you. Cam. I love you too. You hang up. And just sit. On a bar stool made of leather, in a body made of dream stuff and jump shots. Holding a smoothie made of lawn clippings, feeling more human than you expected. The clock ticks forward. 8:58 a.m. You glance toward a door slightly ajar. A closet. You walk over. Push it open. Inside, sneakers. Dozens of them. A neat rack of jerseys, mostly black and white with "Brooklyn" stitched in bold font across the chest. But it's the smaller shelf that catches your eye, a velvet box. You open it. Inside is a ring. Engraved. Subtle. 2017, UNC, National Champions. You feel something tug inside you. Not nostalgia, you didn't live that moment. But pride? Yes. Maybe not your own, but it wraps around you like a scarf nonetheless. You slip the ring on. Just to see. It fits. The phone buzzes again. Shuttles downstairs. Bring headphones. And that big game energy. You toss the phone into a black backpack sitting near the door. You find joggers. A hoodie with nets stitched in monochrome, and you pull them on slowly, one leg at a time, still unsure of how limbs work when they're this long. You check the mirror one last time. Still him. Still you. Still that flicker in your chest. You pause. Let your hand hover over the doorknob. Then you open it. The hallway greets you with echoes and polished floorboards. A new chapter begins with a simple walk to an elevator. And the knowledge that you're headed to the arena. To prepare. For Game 7. The elevator ride down is eerily quiet. It hums faintly, the digital display ticking from 42 to 1 with polite precision. You're alone, just you. A buzzing brain inside a body that doesn't entirely belong to you but moves as if it knows exactly where it's going. And you let it. You're not in control, not entirely. But you're not fighting it either. The doors open. A gust of morning air greets you like a slap from a polite but persistent breeze. The kind Brooklyn deals out often, cool, slightly caffeinated. And busy. Outside the luxury building, a sleek black SUV waits at the curb. Tinted windows. A driver in a sharp jacket gives you a casual nod. "Morning, Cam," he says, opening the door. You slide into the back seat, and the leather welcomes you like it's been broken in just for you. A bottle of water sits in the cup holder. Your favorite playlist starts up automatically, smooth jazz laced with a quiet hip-hop undercurrent. "Straight to Barclays?" the driver asks. You nod. He pulls away. And suddenly, you're drifting through Brooklyn as Cameron Johnson. Buildings pass like thoughts. You stare out the window, your reflection dancing across the glass in rhythm with the skyline. You catch your new face again. And this time, there's no shock. Just a moment of quiet observation. He looks calm. Do you? You reach into the backpack and pull out the ring box again. Open it. The glint of the championship ring catches a beam of sunlight and scatters it across your lap. You close the box. The car slows and rounds the final corner. A crowd is already forming outside Barclays Center. A small cluster of early birds in Nets jerseys, some holding signs, others clutching cameras with oversized lenses. A boy holds up a cardboard sign. Cam 4 MVP. You smile. And in that moment, something unexpected happens, you wave. Instinctively. Like the movement didn't even pass through your brain, it just was. The kid grins so wide it almost folds his face in half. Your chest tightens slightly. In a good way. The SUV pulls into the underground garage. Inside. Fluorescent lights buzz softly above the tunnel-like structure of the loading area. It smells like fresh paint, rubber soles, and adrenaline from games past. You step out. A security guard greets you with a nod. Big day, Johnson. Locker room's all yours. You smile. Appreciate it. He offers a small fist bump. You return it. Even though you have to angle down more than you're used to. The height thing still catches you off guard. Every single time. You walk slowly through the underground path. Your sneakers echo. The walls are covered with blown-up photos of Nets history, iconic shots frozen mid-dunk, mid-shout, mid-victory. You feel all of it. Like you're walking through someone else's memories, and leaving footprints of your own. A door swings open. You're inside the player's facility. It's a space most people only ever see on behind-the-scenes documentaries. But you're here. Breathing in that subtle combo of liniment, fresh towels, and competitive tension. Someone shouts across the room. Cam. Let's get it today, bro. You nod back, try your best to mimic the casual confidence. But your internal monologue is just panicking softly in lowercase italics. You pass a mirror in the hallway. Still you. You blink hard. Then keep walking. A trainer meets you near the weight room. Morning stretch? Yeah, you say, a bit more confidently now. Let's loosen it up. The next half hour passes in a blur of unfamiliar familiarity. The trainer leads you through a dynamic warm-up. Your body responds like it's known these motions forever. There's a strange elegance to it, your limbs extending with perfect timing. Core engaged without trying. It's not you remembering how to do this. It's the body remembering for you. It's surreal. Like finding a song you didn't know you loved already downloaded to your soul. After the warm-up, you enter the practice court. It's massive. Bright. Clean. The kind of polished wood floor that reflects both light and pressure. A few players are already there. You recognize faces from your screen, but now they greet you like teammates. Yo Cam. You ready to cook tonight? I've been dreaming about this one, you say before realizing, that's literally true. Everyone laughs. You walk to the sideline. A rack of balls waits. You pick one. Grip it. The leather is familiar. Solid. Cool in your palms. You take a slow breath. Dribble. The sound echoes through the practice court. Thump. 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 You shoot. Swish. You do it again. Dribble. Step. Shoot. Swish. Your eyes widen. Okay, you murmur, just to yourself. Maybe I can do this. A coach walks by. Morning, CJ, he says. Let's keep it light today. No need to overthink it. You've already done the work. He gives you a gentle nod. The kind that says, I believe in you, without needing to say it. You nod back. You're starting to believe too. At least, a little. Team meeting. The locker room is buzzing. Everyone gathered around, towels around shoulders, music playing low in the background. Someone cracks a joke about Game 7 nerves, and everyone laughs. You pretend to laugh too. But deep down, your stomach is fluttering like a trapped bird. Coach steps in. Silence falls. He doesn't raise his voice. Doesn't need to. He just says one thing. Gentlemen. Tonight is about belief. He pauses. Not just in the team. In yourself. If you've done the work, you already know. You already belong. Your heartbeat slows. The words hit harder than they should. Maybe because they're not meant for him. They're meant for you. You step out of the meeting room. Back to the court. Pick up the ball again. You shoot. Miss. You shoot again. Swish. And again. Swish. You stop, hold the ball to your chest. Breathe. And for the first time since waking up in this borrowed life, you let yourself feel it. The possibility. Not just of playing well. But of being. Being enough. Being ready. Being real. You look toward the locker room. In 2 hours, you'll walk out into a storm of sound and pressure. But right now, you're standing in silence. And you feel more alive than you have in a long time. You're seated in the tunnel now. Alone. The walls curve like a gentle wave behind you, dark and quiet. In front of you, light. A rectangle of white gold that grows warmer every minute. That's where the crowd is. That's where the hardwood waits. The world. Your world. You bounce the ball once. The sound echoes strangely in the half-space between the arena and the behind-the-scenes. Thump. Thump. Silence. The bench beneath you vibrates faintly, probably from the subwoofers or the sound system, already humming with pre-game buzz. You can hear the distant voice of the announcer. The bass line of a warm-up anthem, sneakers squeaking like whispers on polished wood. You grip the ball tighter. The leather feels right in your hands. Just right. Even if your brain is still catching up. You inhale slowly. Hold. Exhale. And then the noise rushes in. Like a wave breaking over the top of your head. A boom. A roar. A welcome. And now. Make some noise for your Brooklyn Nets. Your name is coming. Your name. Sort of. And then it hits. Number 2. Cameron Johnson. The spotlight finds you. You jog out. And for a second, it's all too much. The lights. The heat. The height of the stands. The way the crowd folds and bends like an enormous breathing animal. You try to look calm. But you can feel your knees wobble slightly. A teammate pats your back. Let's go, CJ. You nod. Smile. Fake it. You're good at faking it. Everyone is. The crowd never knows. You jog through the line of teammates, bumping fists and shoulders. There's a rhythm to it. You don't mess it up. You're fitting in. For now. The pre-game shoot-around begins. You're at the top of the key. The ball bounces from the floor into your hands with a satisfying pop. You shoot. Miss. You shoot again. It goes in. It feels off. But it feels possible. You warm up. Muscles stretching, breathing leveling. There's something meditative about it. Like a ritual. Like slowly convincing the universe to open up just a little wider. To let you slip in through the crack. Then, locker room. Again. One last time before it all begins. Everyone's quieter now. Heads down. Phones off. The soundtrack of the moment is heartbeat and shoelace tightening. Coach walks in. No clipboard this time. He looks at everyone, really looks. We all want it, he says. But wanting isn't enough. Tonight, you show me what believing looks like. He turns, walks out. Simple. You don't need more. You glance around. Teammates nod to themselves. Close eyes. Tap their chests. And then, you hear footsteps outside. A familiar voice. Cam. You turn. Your heart flips. Your family. At least, his family. A woman stands at the door, tall, proud, smiling. Her eyes crinkle at the corners. Beside her, a man, broad shoulders, quiet strength. And a younger boy, maybe 14, bouncing on the balls of his feet. They don't come in. They don't have to. You meet eyes. She mouths, "We love you." He nods. The boy gives you a thumbs up so enthusiastic it nearly topples him over. You nod. Then raise your hand. One finger to your heart. 3 fingers to the sky. They smile. They disappear. But they leave something behind. Not pressure. Not expectation. But clarity. The call comes. 2 minutes. You take one final breath. This is it. No more mirrors. No more doubts. You stand. And walk. Out. The tunnel is louder this time. Crowd surging. Chants. Screams. You feel it in your ribs. But beneath it all, a calm settles over you like a warm coat. Because here you are. Game 7. NBA Finals. And somehow, some impossibly strange, beautiful way, you're about to live it. You jog out with the team. Lights flash. Announcers speak. You look across the court. The other team's warming up too. Serious faces. War-ready stares. But you're not afraid. You're here to be. Not just perform. Not just survive. To be. The buzzer sounds. You line up. The ref holds the ball. Tosses it into the air. It spins like a planet. You jump. And the game begins. Tip-off feels like diving into cold water. Sudden. Inevitable. Electrifying. The ball flies. Bodies leap. The moment crashes down, and you're in motion before your mind can fully process it. The first play is a blur. The opponent wins the tip. The point guard darts past you. Sneakers squeal. Voices yell. Defense. Arms raise. The ball whips across the court with ballet precision. You're guarding someone tall, fast, twitchy. Your feet move a half-second late. The first possession ends with a swish that cuts through the arena like a needle through silence. They score. You glance at the scoreboard. 2-0. Not a disaster. But it feels heavy. Like you're running uphill underwater. Then it's your turn. Offense. You catch the inbound pass. The ball sticks to your fingers for a second too long. A defender closes in. Your mind races. Where am I supposed to be? What's the play? You pass, too early. A teammate recovers, bails you out. Another pass. A quick shot. Miss. The crowd groans. You jog back on defense, eyes darting. Shoulders tight. Legs feeling heavier than before. The coach shouts something. You don't quite catch it. You're trying. You really are. But everything feels like a second too fast. A shade too bright. A breath too short. And then, your turn to shoot. Wide open in the corner. The pass comes like lightning. You catch. Shoot. Miss. Silence in your ears. Not from the crowd. From you. It's like your own body has turned down the volume. So you can hear every creak of your confidence. You feel your throat tighten. That wasn't a hard shot. That was your shot. And you missed it. You glance at the bench. Nobody's looking at you with blame. Just expectation. Just presence. They're here. With you. Not against you. You exhale. Long and slow. Back on defense. One possession. Just one. Make it count. Your man gets the ball. You shift. Crouch slightly. Watch his eyes. He fakes right. You bite. But recover. He spins left. Drives. You stay with him. Step for step. Like instinct is finally waking up from its nap. He pulls up. You leap. Fingertips brush the ball. Blocked. The arena erupts. Your teammates scream. That's what I'm talking about. You land, look around, stunned. The noise is for you. The scoreboard updates. Fast break on the other end. 2 points. Tie game. The adrenaline rushes in. Not overwhelming. But just enough. Your body hums. Your breath slows. You clap your hands together. Let's go. Let's go. The next play is smoother. You find your spot on the floor. Ball rotates around the perimeter. A handoff. Then a screen. You slide behind it, feet set. The pass hits your hands like it belongs there. You shoot. The release feels right. The kind of right you can't teach, only remember. Swish. This time, you don't even react. You just jog back on defense, deadpan, as if it's nothing. But inside? You're screaming. Yes. The scoreboard ticks forward. You're up now. A small lead. And climbing. The crowd chants your name. You smile, just a little. You're starting to feel it. Starting to belong. Timeout. The bench rises as you jog over. Towels tossed. Water bottles offered. High fives slapped so hard your palm tingles. A teammate leans in. Told you, you were ready. You nod. But this time, you believe it. Because now, the fear isn't in charge. The doubt has been replaced by focus. Not perfection. Just presence. Coach gathers the team. We're up. But not done. Stay sharp. Keep communicating. CJ, nice block. Keep that energy. You nod. Heart pounding. But the rhythm has changed. It's not fear anymore. It's flow. You take a seat on the bench for a breather. Towel around your neck. Chest rising and falling like a tide that knows it will always return. You sip water. It tastes better now. Sweeter. Earned. The buzzer sounds again. You're back on the court. Back in the fray. And for the first time since all of this began, you're not thinking about being Cameron Johnson. You're just being. Halftime sneaks up on you like a quiet friend. You don't even realize it's there until the buzzer buzzes and the entire building seems to exhale. You jog toward the tunnel with the team. Someone slaps your back. Another bumps shoulders. A third yells something like, "That's what I'm talking about, CJ," in a way that makes it feel like it's not just praise, it's permission. You've earned your place in the huddle, and it feels real. Inside the locker room, the mood is weird. Not tense. Not joyful. Balanced. You're up by 4. But everyone knows there's still another mountain to climb. You plop down in front of your locker. A trainer hands you a towel. You wipe your face. Trying to come down off the adrenaline without falling too far. That's the trick. Find the middle. Float there. You sip from a Gatorade bottle. Lemon lime. Cold. Tastes like every sports commercial you've ever seen. Your heartbeat slows. The chatter around you fades. You lean forward. Elbows on knees. Breathing steady. And that's when your thoughts drift. You're 10 years old again. Standing on a cracked driveway with a cheap basketball and one hoop nailed too high to a garage with peeling paint. You're barefoot. It's summer. The ball's warm from the sun. You dribble twice. Shoot. Airball. Your older cousin yells from the porch, "Come on, Cam. Use your legs." You try again. Miss again. But you keep going. Again. And again. Until you don't miss. You blink. Back in the locker room now. Same heartbeat. Same drive. Same legs. Just taller. Coach walks in. Clipboard in hand, but he doesn't look at it. "We're in control," he says. That doesn't mean we relax. That means we decide. Every possession. Every screen. Every pass. We decide what happens next. He looks at you directly. And we finish what we started. You nod. It's not a motivational speech. It's a contract. Unspoken, but signed in sweat. You get up and walk toward the back hallway. Not far, just enough to be alone for a second. The hallway is quiet. Dim. You lean against the wall and close your eyes. A minute. Maybe less. You let the moment hold you. Then, footsteps. You open your eyes. It's one of the ball boys. Maybe 12. Tiny. He stops, staring. You smile. Hey, bud. He fumbles with something in his hand, a phone, clearly trying not to ask for a picture. I watched you at UNC, he blurts out. My dad and we stayed up late every game. You crouch to meet his eyes. I appreciate that, you say. Really? He nods, nervous. Then. I wanna play like you someday. You pause. Smile. Then you will. He nods again. Backs away, smiling so wide you're scared his cheeks might cramp. You head back into the locker room with something new in your chest. Not pride. Not pressure. Just reminder. You matter. Whether you make the next shot or not. Someone's watching. Learning. Hoping. Believing. Because of you. The buzzer sounds again. Time to go. Second half is here. No reset. No rewind. Just forward. You jog back onto the court. The lights feel softer now, not less bright. Just less threatening. Your feet hit the hardwood with certainty. Like they belong. Because now, you believe it too. You glance at the scoreboard one last time. You're up. But not safe. That's fine. You never liked safe anyway. You liked worthy. The ref blows the whistle. Inbound pass. Game on. Again. Third quarter opens like a slow song trying to disguise itself as a sprint. Fast possessions. Clumsy decisions. Everyone's rushing, trying to win before the game has really unfolded. You feel it in your teammates too. Missed passes. Fouls. The kind of chaos that doesn't feel dangerous yet, but close. The other team makes a quick run. Boom. Three-pointer. Boom. Steal and dunk. Suddenly, the crowd shifts. It's not panic. But it's a question. The kind the scoreboard asks louder than words. Do you have what it takes to finish this? You regroup near half court. Ball in your hands. You call for a screen, wave off a cutter, take a breath. Your man presses up on you. Physical. Hands twitching. Breathing hard. You jab step left. He bites. You spin right. Free. One dribble. Two. Pull up. Release. Swish. The crowd rises like a slow wave. Then crashes. Your teammates cheer. Coach claps once, hard. And in that moment, you're not trying to prove anything. You're just doing. You're in it. The game unfolds. Play by play. Moment by moment. The score teeters like a seesaw. 2-point lead. Tie game. 1-point deficit. Back and forth. Back and forth. Then it's the fourth quarter. Final 12. The arena tightens. People leaning forward in their seats. Faces locked in. Every dribble echoed by thousands of hearts in sync. Coach huddles the team. Stay present, he says. Don't let the moment be louder than your purpose. You look around at the faces in the huddle. These guys, your brothers tonight, trust you. Not just because you're Cameron Johnson. But because you've played like Cameron Johnson. And maybe, just maybe, you are. You take the floor again. Final stretch. 8 minutes left. Ball in your hands. You drive left, get bumped. Foul. 2 free throws. The crowd quiets like a breath held too long. You bounce the ball once. Twice. Shoot. Swish. Second one. Bounce. Shoot. Swish. You nod. Calm. Collected. Like you were born at the free throw line. The opposing team pushes back. They won't go away quietly. A corner three. A fast break slam. Tie game again. 2 minutes to go. Then. Timeout. Back to the bench. You sit. Wipe your face. Stare at the floor. One of your teammates leans in. You good? You nod. Yeah. He grins. Let's write the ending we want. Back on the court. 1 minute to go. Tie game. You run the play. The ball swings left. Back to the top. To you. Your man slips the screen. You're free. 1 dribble. 2. You rise. The world slows down. Like molasses poured from a height. The crowd is silent, but roaring. The arena shrinks and expands all at once. You release. You hold your form. You don't blink. The ball arcs. Spins. Flies. Swish. Timeout. Opposing team. The arena erupts. Your teammates surround you. The crowd explodes. Someone shouts your name again and again, like it's a song that suddenly matters more. You don't react much. You just feel. You feel everything. And nothing. All at once. 30 seconds left. You defend. You rotate. You recover. They miss. Rebound. Game clock runs. 10 seconds. They foul. You head back to the line. One more time. The ball in your hands again. It feels familiar. Almost friendly. Like it wants to go in. You bounce. Shoot. First one drops. Second one too. You're up by 5. The crowd is already standing. You hear your name in every direction. Someone waves a giant foam finger with your jersey number. You don't smile. Not yet. There's still 5 seconds. They rush the court. A desperate heave. Miss. The buzzer. Game over. Brooklyn wins. Brooklyn wins. You stand still in the middle of the court. As the team rushes in. As the confetti falls. As the camera finds you. As the noise swells like a song you didn't know you needed. You're holding your hands out. Looking at your fingertips. The same ones that missed a shot earlier. The same ones that now just held the game winner. Someone puts a mic in your face. You say something generic. Something humble. You don't even remember what. All you remember is this feeling. Like you just woke up inside your best self. And stayed there. They bring the trophy out. You touch it. It's cold. Heavy. Real. Just like all of this. Just like you. It's quieter now. The crowd still chanting in waves. The trophy's been passed around like a baby among kings. Your teammates are laughing, yelling, crying. Some are calling their families. Some are just staring at nothing, lost in it all. But you? You're sitting alone. Locker room bench. Towel draped around your shoulders. Shoes off. Feet planted flat on cool tile. Your jersey is damp. Your chest is calm. Your hands still carry the weight of the moment. Like it left something in you. Or maybe revealed something that was already there. You lean forward. Elbows on knees. Eyes half closed. You're not even thinking about the shot anymore. Or the points. Or the clock. You're thinking about meaning. And how strange it is that you're here. That you were here. You look around. Everyone's still in that high. But for you? It's starting to shift. Like the edges of the dream are beginning to loosen. Someone tosses a champagne bottle. You catch it instinctively. Pop it. Foam sprays. Cheers erupt. Another wave of celebration. Another spike of disbelief. Cam. You killed it out there. A voice from across the room. A teammate. You smile. Raise the bottle in silent thanks. Then take one sip. Put it down. You stand up. Quietly. Walk down the hallway, out of the locker room. Away from the lights. Just for a second. You find yourself in the tunnel again. Alone. Again. But this time, it's after the storm. There's confetti scattered across the floor. Cups. Towels. Shoes. Signs. All the leftovers of something huge. And there, at the end of the tunnel, someone's waiting. A kid. Not press. Not team staff. Just a boy in a hoodie, holding a notebook and a pen. He looks nervous. Shaking. You walk up slowly. He opens the notebook. It's old. Worn at the edges. He points to a page. It's covered in scribbles. Plays. Drawings. Stats. At the top. In all caps, my NBA dream. You crouch. Look him in the eye. He holds the pen out. You sign it. Then you pause. You ask, you play ball? He nods, tiny. Every day. You smile. You love it? He nods again. Then you're already doing the hard part, you say. The rest will come. He grins. You nod, stand, and start to walk away. But he calls out. Hey! Cam, how do you stay calm in big moments? You pause. Turn back. Think. Then say, I don't. I just breathe louder than the fear. He nods slowly, like he doesn't totally get it. But one day he will. You walk further down the hallway. It's empty now. Still. A calm you didn't know you missed. Your phone buzzes. A text from Mom? Or his mom? Proud of you. Always. You stare at it. Something stirs. It feels like the world is blurring. Not in a bad way. Just, in a dream sort of way. Back in the locker room, you grab your bag. Say your goodbyes. No tears. No big scene. Just nods. Back pats. Shared glances that say, yeah, we did that. You leave the arena. Out the side door. No press. No crowd. Just the city at night. The air is soft. Humid. Electric. A car is waiting. But you walk instead. You wander a few blocks. No one stops you. No one recognizes you. And for a moment, you almost forget who you are. You end up at a hotel. The suite is huge. Too big for one person. You step inside. Drop your bag. Stand by the window. The city glows beneath you. You sit on the edge of the bed. Take off your shoes. Stretch your legs. Lie down. Close your eyes. Let the day collapse. The sound of a siren in the distance. A horn. Then, silence. You breathe. One more time. And drift. Not into sleep. But into something else. Something between reality and dream. A space where you've just been the best version of someone else. And maybe the best version of yourself, too. It begins in stillness. No arena. No crowd. No echo of bouncing balls or squeaking shoes or announcers screaming your name. Just silence. Gentle. Warm. Familiar. You open your eyes. But not all at once. It's like your eyelids have forgotten how heavy they are. Like the world is returning in soft pieces. A ceiling. White. Plain. A fan spinning lazily overhead. The slow tick of a clock you've never noticed before. And then, your hand. Not a giant hand. Not a player's hand. Just, yours. You blink fully awake. Your bedroom. Not a hotel suite. Not a penthouse in Brooklyn. Just your own room. Soft sheets. Old posters on the wall. A pile of laundry on the chair that's definitely been there too long. You sit up. Your neck cracks. You rub your eyes. Still a little dazed. Was it real? No. But also. Not real. You swing your feet to the floor. Carpet under your toes. Familiar. Slightly rough. The way carpet always feels when you've been sweating in a dream. You stand. Stretch. Your body feels normal. Smaller. Slower. But still holding something. A memory. A sensation. Like your cells are humming with leftover electricity. You wander to the bathroom. Look in the mirror. And there you are. The original you. Maybe a little puffy-eyed. Maybe a little crooked-haired. But also still holding that same look from last night's dream. Confidence? No. Something quieter. A kind of peace. Like you've met yourself again. For the first time. You brush your teeth. Wash your face. Make coffee. You pause at the window as the sun pushes through clouds like it's learning how to rise for the very first time. And that's when you see it. On the porch. A basketball. Sitting neatly by the door. Like someone put it there. Or maybe you always had it, and just now remembered. You open the door. Step outside. Pick it up. It fits your hands. Your hands. Perfectly. You spin it on your finger. Only for a second. Then you let it fall to the ground. Bounce once. Rolls to a stop at your feet. You look up. Sky wide open. A breeze carries the scent of morning. And in that moment, you understand. The dream wasn't about basketball. It was about belonging. To something. To yourself. To the possibility of showing up, even when you don't know how. To the courage of missing the first shot. And still taking the next one. You take a deep breath. And the thought comes softly. Sometimes our dreams show us not what we lack, but what we already possess, the courage to try, the heart to persevere, and the wisdom to appreciate the journey. You smile. Because for the first time in a long time, you're not waiting to become something. You already are. You already have. And you always will. You bounce the ball again. Not for anyone else. Just for you. One more time. Then head back inside. The coffee's ready. The world is calling. And you? You're already in motion. The day unfolds like a slow drumbeat. Nothing dramatic. Nothing strange. And yet, everything feels different. You walk around with this invisible layer on your skin. This sense of stillness. Like your soul just got back from somewhere big. You move slower. But not out of fatigue. It's more like, you're tuned in. To breath. To motion. To the soft clicking of keys when you answer emails. To the rhythm of your own voice when you say, thank you, to the barista. Even the way the wind brushes past your ears feels more personal. You carry the dream with you. Not like a secret. More like a song stuck in your head. A melody no one else can hear, but it guides your steps anyway. You find yourself scrolling. Through highlights. Through news. Through Cameron Johnson interviews. You stop on one, he's smiling after a big win. The real one. The one with a grin that lights up an entire post-game press conference. He talks about teamwork. About sticking with it. About believing when it's hard. And you feel that spark again. That electric knowing. You've been there. Even if it was only for a night. Even if it wasn't real. You sit back in your chair and close your eyes. And in the darkness behind your lids, you see it. The court. The lights. The crowd. But also, the locker room. The quiet. The breath. That one moment, right before the shot, when you weren't sure if you were enough. And you took it anyway. You opened your hands. You let it fly. You trusted. Later that afternoon, you visit the park. A half-court tucked behind some trees. Empty except for a couple of squirrels and a plastic water bottle tipping in the wind. You shoot around. Slow. Soft. No crowd. Just you. You miss the first shot. Grin. Then you make the next three. You don't celebrate. Just nod. Like someone inside you is saying, see? It's still in there. You sit on the bench after a while. Stare up at the clouds. They drift like lazy dreams. Like stories you haven't written yet. You remember what that little fan said in the dream. How do you stay calm in big moments? You whisper the answer again, to no one. I don't. I just breathe louder than the fear. That night, you journal. Not because you have to, but because it feels good to catch the memory before it evaporates. You write. Dreams are not always places we escape to. Sometimes they are rehearsals. A training ground for courage. A mirror, showing us who we could be. If we just stopped doubting the quiet voice inside us. You pause. You stare at that last line. Then underline it. Twice. Right before bed, you glance at the basketball in the corner of your room. Still there. Still silent. But somehow more alive. Like it's waiting for you. Like it knows. You crawl into bed. Lights off. Fan on. And before you close your eyes, one last thought drifts through your mind. Maybe dreams don't end when we wake up. Maybe they begin. You wake up before your alarm. No buzzing. No vibration. Just that quiet internal pull, like your body knows something your schedule doesn't. It's still dark out. Just a hint of light threading into the window. The air is crisp. Barefoot, you shuffle to the kitchen. The floor cool against your feet, grounding. You start the kettle. Watch it. No rush. No hurry. Still carrying the dream like it's tucked into your back pocket. You sip your tea slowly. There's something beautiful about the silence of mornings. When the rest of the world is still stretching, still negotiating with the sun. You already feel ready. Not because you've planned anything, but because you remember. Not the highlights. Not the trophy. But that moment. That inhale before the shot. The feeling of choosing action over fear. Of trusting something deeper than thought. You let that memory wrap around you like a hoodie fresh out of the dryer. Warm. Worn in. Yours. By midday, life has fully resumed. Emails. Errands. A conversation with a friend that turns into a mini therapy session over tacos. You smile more. Listen deeper. You're not trying to be present. You just are. And it doesn't go unnoticed. At the checkout counter, the cashier says, "You seem really chill today." You grin. Just got back from a long game. They laugh. Don't ask what that means. But you know. Later. You pass by a sports store. Something makes you pause. You walk in. No goal. Just curiosity. Inside, there's a display of jerseys. Row after row of legends, rookies, rising stars. Your fingers skim the fabric. Soft. Breathable. Stitched dreams. And then, you see it. Hanging quietly at the end of the rack. Cameron Johnson. Brooklyn. Number 2. You don't buy it. You just stand there a moment longer. Then nod, turn, and leave. It was enough. That night, you replay the game in your head like a private film reel. The moment you looked in the mirror. The first miss. The blocked shot. The corner 3. The buzzer. The weight of the trophy. The kid in the hallway. It's all still there. But less vivid now. Not fading, just softening. Like the memory is tucking itself into your DNA. Not to be remembered. but to be used. You pick up your phone. Open notes. Type just one line. Show up like you've already made the shot. Then you turn off your screen. Set it face down. No distractions. You grab your notebook, sketch out something wild. A plan. A story. A next step. Maybe not basketball. But something that matters. Because that's the gift the dream gave you. Not to be someone else, but to be yourself like it counts. You fall asleep with the notebook still open beside you. No anxiety. No spiral. Just that soft hum again. The one that started on the court, in the tunnel, when you first walked into someone else's story, and found yourself anyway. The last thought before your eyes close? You whisper it, smiling. I can breathe louder than the fear. And then you drift. Weightless. Certain. Whole. The next few days come and go like pages in a book you've already read. But now, you're reading differently. Not skimming. Not scanning. But noticing. The barista's tattoo of a tiny phoenix on her wrist. The way the crosswalk light always takes a second longer when you're late. The kid at the park who shoots underhand and still misses every time, but smiles anyway. You're not floating through the world anymore. You're in it. And it feels like your skin fits better. Like your shoes are finally broken in. Like you're not chasing a dream anymore, just walking alongside it. At home, the basketball sits near the door now. You dribble it sometimes. Sometimes not. But it's there. A quiet reminder. Not of the dream, but of the decision. To show up. To keep trying. To stay with it. You find yourself saying yes more. To invites. To new ideas. To hard conversations you used to dodge. And strangely, it doesn't exhaust you. It frees you. Because that courage, the kind you found on the court, turns out it translates. One evening, you're asked to speak at a local youth sports center. Small crowd. Folding chairs. Pizza smell in the air. You sit on the edge of the stage. No mic. No script. Just honesty. You tell them about setbacks. Missed shots. Self-doubt. And then, you pause. You almost say it. About the dream. But instead, you say this. There are moments in life where everything feels too big for you. Too fast. Too loud. Too much. And those are the moments when you just need to breathe. Breathe louder than the fear. And they're quiet. Not the bored kind of quiet. The listening kind. The kind that sinks in. You catch a kid in the back mouthing the words silently to himself. Breathe louder than the fear. Yeah. It landed. Afterward, someone asks if you played college ball. You smile. Shake your head. But for a moment, just a flicker, you imagine answering. I was Cameron Johnson. You chuckle. Then just say, nah, I'm more of a Midnight League legend. They laugh. But the joke's not what matters. What matters is, you're here. And for the first time in forever. You don't need proof. Or applause. You don't need to win anything. You already did. In a dream. On a court. In a body that wasn't yours. but in a spirit that absolutely was. You walk home that night. Hands in pockets. Whistling. No crowd. No lights. Just street lamps and your own quiet breath. Which, now that you think about it, doesn't sound like fear at all anymore. It sounds like readiness. It's a lazy Sunday when it hits you again. That deep pull. That familiar itch under your ribs. Not anxiety. Not boredom. Just that whisper, it's time again. You lace up your sneakers. Not fancy ones. Just old, trusted, scuffed soles that have run through both rain and doubt. You grab the ball from near the door, same spot it's been waiting in, and head outside. Not to the park this time. You go back to where it all started. Your driveway. The cracked concrete. The uneven hoop. That weird tilt to the backboard that's probably against regulation. You take a deep breath. It smells like memory out here. Faintly of grass, maybe of your childhood dog. Maybe of last chances. Maybe of first dreams. You dribble. The sound echoes off the garage. The same way it did then. You shoot. Miss. You laugh. Because of course you missed. That's how you begin. You shoot again. Make it. And again. And again. The rhythm takes over. No crowd. No lights. No trophy. Just the bounce. The breath. The quiet confidence that comes not from knowing you'll make it, but from knowing you'll shoot anyway. After a while, you stop. Sit on the curb. Let the sun hit your face. You close your eyes. And there it is again. That night. The dream. It plays out behind your lids like a film you've memorized. But now, it feels further away. Not faded, just processed. Absorbed. Part of you now. Like muscle memory in your soul. You think of the game-winning shot. Not how it looked. How it felt. The breath before it. The decision. The belief. And suddenly you realize. That was never about Cameron Johnson. Or the NBA. Or even basketball. It was about you. And the moment you finally stopped waiting for permission. The moment you just did it. You head back inside. Feet a little dusty. Heart a little full. You shower. Eat cereal straight from the box while standing at the kitchen counter. Nothing fancy. But it tastes like victory anyway. Your phone pings. A message from someone you haven't heard from in a while. Old friend. They say, "Hey. Weird question. Are you okay? You seem different lately." You stare at the message. Then type. "I had a dream I was Cameron Johnson. And when I woke up, I remembered who I really was." Then you delete it. Too dramatic. Instead, you write. "Yeah. I'm good. Just breathing a little better these days." Send. You go to bed early that night. No screens. No scrolling. Just soft music and an open window. You close your eyes. No dream comes immediately. But you don't mind. Because maybe this is what it means to finally be the dream. Not to chase it. But to live with it. To carry it, softly. Like breath. like rhythm. Like a ball balanced gently on your fingertips, waiting, patiently, to fly. Sleep finds you again, but it's different now. It's not a plunge or a fall or an escape. It's a float. Like you're being carried by something gentler than rest. Your body lets go. And the world turns dim and warm, like a low-lit tunnel with no end, just curves, and quiet, and calm. You don't dream of basketball. Or courts. Or trophies. Instead, you're walking. Barefoot. Maybe. On grass that doesn't make a sound. A forest, or a field. Hard to tell. The light here has no source. It just is. And there, in the distance, is a bench. Simple. Wooden. You sit. You wait. But for nothing in particular. That's the best kind of waiting. No goal. No countdown. Just being. And then a voice joins you. Not loud. Not familiar. But comforting. You're still playing, it says. You nod. Even if you're not sure what it means. The voice continues. But now, you know the game is life. Not basketball. Not dreams. Just showing up. Every day. In rhythm with your breath. You smile. Say nothing. Because sometimes, silence is the only applause that matters. You wake gently. Before sunrise again. You lie there for a long time. Eyes half closed, fingers curled around the edge of the blanket. The ceiling fan spins. The world hasn't started moving yet. But you have. From the inside. You get up. Stretch. Make coffee. Again. But this time, it tastes like purpose. You sit by the window. Watch the day begin. One streetlight blinks off. A bird chirps. Once. Then again. You pull out your notebook. Not to write a to-do list. Not to plan. Just to draw a small circle. And inside it, the words. Keep breathing louder than the fear. Then you close the notebook. And go brush your teeth. You dress like it's a game day. Even if no game is scheduled. There's something about wearing your best self, even if it's just in a plain t-shirt and jeans. You walk outside. And everything feels like applause. The breeze. The way the sun rests softly on your shoulders. The car that slows slightly to let you pass. The child on the scooter who nods at you like you're teammates in something no one else understands. And maybe you are. Midday, you end up at the bookstore. You don't mean to go in. But your feet take you there. Inside, the shelves are high and uneven. Like possibility. You drift toward the sports section. A hardcover catches your eye. A memoir. By an NBA player. Not Cameron Johnson. Someone else. You flip through. Find a passage. The player writes. I was never afraid of missing. I was afraid of not trying. You snap the book shut. Smile. That line? Feels like it came from your story. And maybe it did. Maybe we all write each other's stories in little invisible ways. Just by living out loud. You don't buy the book. You don't need to. You already lived the chapter that mattered. And you're still writing the rest. One breath. One step. One bounce of the ball. At a time. Tonight feels familiar. Not in a nostalgic way. But in the way you recognize your own shadow. Your own rhythm. You're lying in bed again. Same sheets. Same fan spinning overhead. But the silence? It's deeper. Wider. Like the night is listening now. Waiting for you to speak. Or maybe, to dream. You close your eyes. And without even trying, you're back. Not in the game. Not on the court. But in you. Fully. Centered. This time, you don't need the transformation. You don't wake up in someone else's shoes. You wake up in your own. And they fit. Your mind drifts back, almost in sequence. The lights of the arena. The sweat on your brow. The hum of the crowd right before the shot. The laugh after the miss. The breath before the buzzer. Each memory unspooling like a reel that's not trying to prove anything, just remind you. You did that. You lived that. Even if it wasn't real. It changed you. And isn't that all that matters? You hear a voice. Yours. Older. Calmer. I don't have to be the dream anymore, it says. I can be the lesson the dream gave me. And in that moment, it lands. That's why we dream. Not to escape. Not to rewrite life. But to return better. You roll onto your side. Tuck the blanket under your chin. A little boy version of you flashes through your mind. Shooting hoops at sunset. Yelling, 3, 2, 1, buzzer beater. You whisper, you made it, kid. Not because you won. But because you never stopped believing. Even when you didn't have all the answers. Even when the court disappeared. Even when the lights faded. You kept showing up. That's the win. Outside, the wind picks up. A gentle breeze through the trees. Like the world exhaling just for you. You breathe with it. Long. Slow. Full. Tomorrow's coming. With its meetings and lists and little messes. But tonight? You're untouchable. Held. Still. A quiet champion. In a world that often forgets to clap for those who simply try. So before sleep wraps you up completely, a final thought flickers across your mind. Even in my dreams, I was just trying to find myself. And you did. You found the part of you that doesn't need proof. Just purpose. You found the breath that calms the chaos. You found home. Now, the dream is yours. Always was. Always will be. Time to rest. Time to let it carry you forward. Not into another fantasy. But into your own life, fully lived. With rhythm. With presence. With heart. So here we are. Back where we began. In your room. In your bed. With the hum of a fan and the soft rhythm of your breath anchoring you in the now. You've just lived another life. One that took you through courts and locker rooms and spotlight moments, into the shoes of Cameron Johnson, and far beyond. But the real journey wasn't about basketball. Not really. It was about waking up in someone else's world so you could remember your own. It was about the quiet power of believing in yourself when no one's watching. About breathing deeper than fear. And trusting that sometimes the courage to keep going is louder than any buzzer. You didn't just win a game. You rewrote your relationship with doubt. You discovered the part of yourself that's calm under pressure. That laughs after mistakes. That listens, shows up, and carries on. And when you opened your eyes, you didn't lose the dream. You brought it with you. Into your coffee. Your conversations. Your journal. Your next step. Because maybe that's what dreams are for, not to escape life, but to illuminate it. So now, as you settle under the covers, know this. You're not chasing a fantasy. You are living proof that we grow most when we dare to believe. Even if it's just for one magical night. Even if it starts in sleep. So rest now. Let your breath slow. Let the world soften. You've earned the silence. The stillness. The peace. You showed up. You believed. And that is always enough. Good night, dreamer. You've already won.
Thank you for joining me on this exploration. If you found this intriguing, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll uncover even more captivating stories that illuminate the wonders of our world.